Here's my second entry for the Paint on Plastic 2022 maschinenkrieger competition. Now this is just mostly a S.A.F.S Type R Raccoon, which I modified to kind of treat it like it's a unit made for clearing minefields. So that's why I added the Zimmerit coating onto the feet and some of the parts, and I'll go over that in a minute. But just had a fun play with it. I mean, the main idea was getting something like a sledgehammer and tools and the mine fuses, and then the Zimmerit coating, and then everything else after that. I was just like, well, I haven't used Middlestone in I don't think ever, so I'll give that a go. And this is what I came up with. So enjoy. Thank you. As far as customization, I didn't do too much on this beyond the Zimmerit coating add-ons, and then I replicated some of my favorite parts from the Raptor kit, where I molded the shins and like the back exhaust cover. I like to put those on almost all my S.A.F.S now. I just like the look of the shins over the knee pads, and so I took the knee pads and I'll put those up on the elbows now, which is an easy modification. You'll see in here, and it's just basically cutting out a square piece of plastic styrene that fits into the peg, and then just fitting it to the elbow first and finding a nice balance while it's setting, and then letting it go. Yeah. Here was my first attempt at the Zimmerit coating. So what it is, I got some of the Zimmerit tools from Trumpeter or Triumph. I'll look in the details again, but you all know which ones these are from the photos. It comes with it's a 176 and a 135. I use the 135th scale roller for this, and then I also use some metal rollers from 3D printing FDM drive tool components. You can see those in my Amazon list, but I also use those as rollers as well. They have an interesting size texture, but I just watched some videos online about it and just gave it a go. What I did is I rolled out first the epoxy dough on just a flat roller I made with some popsicle sticks and acrylic board, and then rolled it on with a toothpick and used baby powder as the release from my tools. So I coated a little bit the tools with baby powder and a little bit of the surface so that nothing stuck to anything. You can use water and stuff like that, but I think that just gets too messy and wet. The powder gets messy, powdery, but I'm fine with that. And it cleans off real nice with alcohol once it's all set and cured. All right. bases, a while ago, I've been designing kind of texture tools for special effects sculpting, more for like pore texture and wrinkles and stuff like that. But this is a fun little tool I just grabbed out, and I'll go over this in another video how I do these bases. But I throw some epoxy putty on the top of my wood squares, kind of line it all out, move it around as much as possible in the shape that I want, and I just hit it with some texture on top and clean up the edges. A lot of times I'll then cover it with saran wrap, plastic wrap, and press the model kit into there to create the impressions and the pose I want, and then just take the model kit away, and then once it's cured, the plastic wrap peels right off. And then you have a base with impressions of the feet. Perfect fit. So the paint, I went with the Middlestone as the main base. I didn't alter it any. I just had some that I already thinned down for airbrushing, which is I do it a 1 to 1.5 thinner to thinner is the 1.5 and 1 would be the base paint for airbrushing, how I like to thin my lacquers down. Then I went in with just some off-white for certain areas, and then the dull red is my favorite red from Tamiya, and I just use that for the feet. You'll see it starts off very bright early on, and then as you start layering it with the browns, it gets that nice dark tone to it, but still maintains the red aspect of what I kind of wanted for the legs to be kind of like they're the danger area. They're kind of already, you know, every day they're walking out, they could be stepping, I don't know. It was kind of a loose concept in there with the whole minefield aspect of it. And then the gray for the fuses, I have no idea what gray that is. It's just a mix I have. It's probably a 75 RLM 75 with white, maybe 50%. I can't really remember. I did not mark it, but I like it. Hopefully I'll remember what it is. So this was, I did, like I do most of them, I did two kind of thin coats of the grime gunk wash. The first one was just to get kind of the tones and the details and the light. Like that was just I just did that with a little bit of the brown Tamiya liner. And then I just wiped away, you know, to keep a fine line and everything. That was before decals. And then I did the decals, and after that was set, a clear coat on top, gloss. And then I did a semi-gloss over that to kind of knock down the decals a bit. And then my final gunk wash was just coating everything in a nice enamel oil base. Let that set for, you know, overnight, and then just scrubbed it off in the areas that I wanted it to be scrubbed, and kept some nice streaks across the top, and then just sealed it all up with a fine matte coat. for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just kind of showing you my process through it. I tend to not remember to record as I'm going because I just like building and they're just right in front of me. But I promise I will have some more videos focusing on certain aspects of these type of builds, or I'll refresh some of the older videos from new stuff I've learned. So thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.